I know I look crazy. And that's just kind of how things have been lately. I'm currently on Indeed looking for a job. And most of the jobs that I've noticed, like if you just look in your area where you live, the common theme that I'm seeing is needing people in the healthcare system, needing people in the childcare system, needing people in government positions that I don't have the qualifications for, and social media work. Someone's cutting the grass outside. I'll wait. The second I decided I wanted to record a video, the guy came and started cutting the grass, and the laundry machine started going. And I don't know what fits better, how I'm feeling on the inside, than actually just continuing to record the video, hearing all these noises. And of course, when I started talking about this, then the guy stops cutting the grass. I'm on Indeed, and I'm looking at jobs, and I just saw one earlier while I was paused. They're hiring police officers in my area that said no certification was required to become a police officer. That's a little concerning to me, in my perspective. But my left ear is ringing. I just needed to vent again that most likely I'm going to be putting myself back into the matrix system to make money, which is really frustrating because I've spent since 2020 basically trying to build a channel, trying to build my own services, trying to build my own practice, and none of it has been working. Like none of it. Anything I tried on Instagram didn't work, YouTube. I'm a little bit on TikTok. I'm new to TikTok. It's a little overstimulating and a little overwhelming to me. But yeah, I've literally been trying for like 4 years, and I talked in a video recently that the reason none of it was working is because I wasn't myself. So I know like it didn't work because I wasn't myself, but now I don't have any money. So even if I can just sit here and be myself, I still have things to pay. I still have bills to pay. I don't have a vehicle of my own. So I'm relying on borrowing cars, which already makes it more difficult. It makes me feel like more of a burden when I do get a job, because then I'm using someone else's vehicle and they might need it. I can't always guarantee that they won't need it. So yeah, I'm in a very interesting place right now. I don't have a car. I don't have any savings. I have debt that I already owe. I am not able to always use the vehicle. And when I DoorDash, because I had been DoorDashing for the last like 3 or 4 months. When I had been DoorDashing, I only would DoorDash until I used like 25% of a full tank, a quarter of a tank, because I couldn't afford to put more gas in the vehicle. It's been a really interesting time. Really interesting time in my life, and like I said, I just need to talk about it. I don't even know if I'm going to post this, but I just need to like speak out loud what I'm processing, and just instead of just sitting in my head, which is not always the best place to be. But if I sit in my heart space, then I get too overwhelmed and I start crying. So I think just talking out loud. And don't mind this poster, it's not mine, because this is not my room. I'm staying in this room again because I don't have my own. You know, everything is borrowed. At this point in my journey, everything is borrowed except for the clothing that I own and my toiletries. That's literally all I own. A bag of clothes. I have a bag with stuff to crochet, a bag for my tarot stuff, a bag for my wire wrapping for crystals, grocery shopping bags, socks, a book bag to carry all of my notebooks, binders, and then I have a bunch of books and my toiletries. And I can't sell any of it for money. I just really don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what's gonna happen. The eclipse that's coming on March 25th is hitting my moon and my Jupiter. So obviously something is coming. Whether or not it's good, I don't know. But I'm just sitting here scrolling through Indeed, and I'm most likely, well, I got Palo Santo on my face. I'm most likely going to be flying to work at Aldi. You want the garlic mayo from Aldi? Is that what you get me? Yeah, that's what I get me. It seems like the thing that makes the most sense because I've worked in a grocery store before. It's got a good amount of pay, and I potentially could get dropped off because it's not too far from my sister's job, because I'm trying to also schedule with my sister's job. And that's something too. My sister's 16 years old, and she's been working since she was 14. I didn't start working until I was 17. So the amount of things that she's already learned and done from 14 to 16 is just already crazy. But I was also telling my mom and my husband too, sometimes it's frustrating that like I'm back in the house. This is how I feel. I feel like I'm on the spin cycle. And my sister, who is 16, I'm 30, like, she should not be seeing her sister this way. I was basically thinking about, like, what role am I playing as, like, an older sister? What am I showing her? And, like, as much as you want to, like, teach your siblings or teach people younger than you about things that you've learned from your own experience, words mean very little compared to your actions. And so I can tell her what I recommend as much as I want to, but until she actually starts seeing me like do something, she's not really going to take any of my advice. So it's also been like, what kind of sister are you? If I was 16 years old and my 30-year-old sister came back to live with me, or live with me and my mom, our mom, and she was like, didn't have a car and didn't have any money, was struggling, like, yes, I'd feel sympathy, but I'd also be like, so what are you going to do? I have been experiencing a lot of chronic fatigue, so a lot of this has been more difficult because chronic fatigue isn't necessarily something people see. It's not something people can understand you're experiencing, and so it makes you feel lazy, it makes you feel like crap. These are things that I've been going through right now, and it hasn't been easy, and it's been very like, it's like a dance, a balance of like, okay, so yes, I'm supposed to have trust and faith, and I'm also supposed to like hold to my integrity and my desires for my life, and to know that anything is possible, and to choose this path that leads to things that I actually want to do. But right now, where I am in the middle is needing to go into the 3D realm in order to make the money, in order to have a savings, in order to purchase a vehicle, in order to do anything. So it's like, does the scale even make sense here? And I'm relating it to scales because of my Libra moon and my Jupiter in Libra, and this eclipse coming up in Libra. It's just, yeah, I needed to talk about it, so here I am. I'm most likely going to apply for this job at Aldi. And that's also been a thing too, like, I've had this feeling that the second I apply and like get a job somewhere, it's kind of also me being like, maybe it's being a Cappy rising. It's this feeling of, wow, all of that climbing up the mountain I did the last 3-4 years has led me coming back down the mountain. Like, yes, I've learned a lot, but like I'm going right back into something I said I would never go into again. And like, it feels very, even though it would be a victory and a celebration to, yes, have a job and make money, it also feels like a defeat to my soul, to my path, to my purpose, to be going into something that I don't want to do and that's going to drain me, and I'm going to be in really bright light, which I hate being. Like, I'm sensitive to light, sensitive to sound, sensitive to overstimulation, so like, I've been trying to find places that aren't like that, and no one's hiring for places like that because I guess people who are in those probably enjoy it and aren't leaving. So this is what I'm doing right now in my life, pre-eclipse, and I'm sure I'll have a different story after the eclipse. But if you're in a scenario like me right now, where you're struggling financially, you're struggling with energy, you're just struggling, you're not alone in the struggle. And I trust that me just being completely authentic about where I am in my life right now will help you feel less crappy about your scenario. I don't often see, or maybe I haven't yet found many people who share themselves while they're in the struggle. I've seen a lot of people and listened to a lot of people who will share themselves after the struggle, and like they talk about what they struggled with, and I'm still inspired by that. But the steps that each person is going to take to get out of that struggle is going to be completely different, because we all have completely different paths and completely different journeys. So I don't know what it will look like for you to get out of yours. I don't know necessarily what it'll look like for me to get out of mine. Well, I didn't even expect to be here, honestly. I didn't expect any of, like, literally from, like, since 2020, everything has been completely unplanned and unexpected. And anytime I tried to make a plan, it did not work. So everything's just been kind of like, I don't know, pieces being moved around for something. And I'm in this state right now, just learning to, like, that Saturn return, man. It's like, okay, yes, you're chronically fatigued. Yes, you don't have any money. Yes, you don't have a savings. Yes, you owe people money. All these things that make you feel crappy. But you still have to get up and do something. And you tried making videos on YouTube. You tried making a new YouTube. You tried posting on Instagram. You tried making an Etsy store. You tried all these things. None of them are working. So how long are you going to do something that isn't working? You know, how stubborn can I be? How hard can I hold on to something? And for me, it used to be the struggle of, well, if I really believe in this, wouldn't I keep going? If I really believe in this, wouldn't I push through? When you don't have any finances to support yourself, no, you don't. You don't keep going, because then you're going to keep suffering. So if you needed to hear that, don't be like me. And I know I just said telling my sister advice without embodying it means nothing, so perhaps don't take my word for it and just check in on me in a couple months and see what's happening in my life then, and perhaps you'll have a better understanding of what happened, what I did not do, what I learned throughout my Saturn return, Libra eclipse, Pluto and Aquarius times. Like, I can't necessarily decide what it is, or if it's all of those things. But it's just been really frustrating, and I needed to talk about it and get it out of my body and my energy field. I burned some Palo Santo, which really helped. I've been drinking my water. I've been praying. I've just been trying also not to feel like a useless person because I don't have money. And that's been a really big struggle for me, is to not associate my worth with my money. A lot of times that's how we value life, and we need money in order to move through this world. So if you don't have any money, what are you, like, how are you supposed to do anything? That's what I'm going through right now. Oh, and also, I don't think I've ever mentioned this in any of the videos. For the last 2 years, I had EBT. If you don't know what that is, like SNAP, it's like food benefits that you can get from your local state to help you pay for groceries. You send them how much you make a month, how much you pay, and if they see that you're struggling to be able to make money for food, they give it to you. And I was at the time, because I never thought I would ever sign up for SNAP and EBT and benefits like that. And I was talking with our group of friends at the time, and like basically stating my struggle of like, but if I say, isn't me signing up for SNAP, EBT, telling the universe, telling God, source, spirit, that I don't trust that I have what I need to provide for myself, that I don't think that I can do it? And one of my friends was like, well, no, I disagree. I feel that that service is there for people who need it when they need it, and you don't plan to live on it forever. It's supposed to help you transition. And I appreciated her perspective, and I was like, okay. So I did it, and it was very helpful. Honestly, I don't know how I would have fed myself the last 2 years if I didn't have it. I've had it, 2023 and 2022. I don't know what I would have done had I not had benefits. SNAP, EBT, whatever. I don't know it was already difficult financially before we got the benefits, and it was still difficult financially after the benefits, because not much in my external reality was changing. I still had the same, like, job, same plate. Like, I'm wondering how those benefits do help, other than, like, becoming dependent on them, because a lot of times, yes, it's saving you that money for food, but even before we had that money for food, it was still a struggle. So it's very interesting. And so this December, they, like, sent a thing in the mail, like, asking for updates and to make sure, like, hey, what are you making now? Kind of keeping, integrity in the system. And I was reapplying, and it denied me. And it didn't deny me for, like, no, because I don't have a job, so I know technically they shouldn't have denied me, but it was like, no, you need to send, like, verification of, because I moved to my mom's house. And something told me when I got that rejection, like, okay, either you can go through all the work that it takes to get the paperwork and take it to the office and whatnot to get the benefits again, or maybe this is your sign. Like, and when I got that notification, sorry, my hair is bothering me. When I got that notification in the mail, like, no, you didn't get approved to renew your benefits, and I had to go, like, since January now without getting those, it was good for me. Like, something told me, don't try and get them. Don't try and get them again. And so I was like, okay, I don't have it anymore. And then that was like the sobering effect for me, was realizing, okay, I don't have any means of bringing money in for food now. So what would I be eating now? Like, how would I get food? What would I do? And so it's been a really sobering effect for me that without the SNAP EBT, like, now I literally have no means to feed myself. It's only because I'm here at my mother's house that I'm able to eat. I was using the SNAP and benefits and stuff, like, to pay for food while I was here, to help out with the house, like buying with my SNAP benefits, but then they expired, and I was like, okay, no, this is good, this will push me. So then I pushed myself in January and February, and I was blogging, I was making ebooks on my Etsy store, I was posting on my Instagram, sharing on my channel, my YouTube, like, I was pushing, I was doing a lot, thinking, okay, something's going to come in so I can support myself, but really I just had to keep door dashing, and then that money just went to my phone bill and to paying off my trip to Hawaii for my wedding a couple years ago. So, like, after that, there's not much left. So, yeah, not having the benefits, not having the SNAP has really pushed me and shown me, like, okay, so what are you going to do? You don't have any means to feed yourself, to shelter yourself, to transport yourself. Like, what? Have you ever had that? Like, is there anyone who's watching this who's had this experience? Like, well, obviously, yes, if people are homeless, and I have been close to homelessness before, but, like, being not homeless, being in, like, a family member's home, you don't have a car, you don't have any savings, you don't have any money, you don't have any means to feed yourself. Have you ever been there? And how did you get out of there? Like, what did you do? Like, was it just prayers? Was it, like, getting jobs from friends and family? Like, we don't have a big family. I don't have a large group of friends to be like, hey, I have a job over here, over there. Like, I don't have that kind of community or network. It's been very isolating. And, yeah, what, I know I'm not the only one, but it feels like that compared to all the people around me who have jobs and shelter to themselves sufficiently and feed themselves. Like, anyway, I'm going to stop rambling about it, but that's what's been going on. So I'm gonna probably apply to this job at Aldi, and I guess I'll just continue to document what's happening, and at some point in the near future, a couple months from now, who knows what my life will look like, and then I can look back on this video and go, ha ha ha, let's hope. So thanks for listening and hanging out with me and holding space. I do appreciate it. If you're going through anything like I'm going through, I feel for you. Give yourself grace as much as you can, and as hard as that may be. You deserve that. Try as hard as you can not to base your value and your worth off of your currency, of the money that you hold, and base it on the character of your heart. Okay, that sound is getting really loud. Again. That's what it's been feeling like in here. Until next time, as always, I'm sending you peace, and I'm sending you love.